By the Brothers Grimm. There once lived a man and his wife, who had long wished for a child, but all was in vain. Now, there was a beautiful garden full of the finest vegetables and flowers, but there was a high wall around it, and no one ventured into it, for it belonged to a witch of great power, whom all the world was afraid of. And one day, the wife was standing at the window, and looking into the garden, she saw a bed filled with the finest rampion, and it looked so fresh and green that she began to wish for some, and at length she longed for it greatly. This went on for days and days and days, and as she knew she could not get the rampion, she pined away and grew pale and miserable. Then the man was uneasy and asked, "What's the matter, dear wife?" "Oh," she answered, "I shall die unless I have some of the rampion to eat that grows in the garden at the back of our house." The man, who loved his wife very much, thought to himself, "Rather than lose my wife, I will get some rampion, no matter the cost." So, in the twilight, he climbed over the wall into the witch's garden, hastily grabbed a handful of rampion, and brought it back to his wife. She made a salad of it at once, and ate of it to her heart's content. But she liked it so much, and it tasted so good, that the next day she longed for it 3 times as much as before. When she was to have rest, the man must climb over the wall one more time and get some more. So, he went in the twilight again, and as he was climbing back, he saw, all at once, the witch standing before him, and he was terribly frightened as he cried, with angry eyes, "How dare you climb over into my garden like a thief and steal my rampion? It shall be worse for you." "Oh, Aunt, be merciful rather than just. I have only done it out of necessity, for my wife saw your rampion, and she became possessed with so great a longing for it that she would have died if she did not have some to eat." Then the witch said, "If it is as you say, then you may have as much rampion as you like. On one condition, the child that is about to be born must be given to me. It shall go well with the child, and I will care for it like a mother." In his distress of mind, the man promised everything, and when the child was born, the witch appeared, and giving the child the name of Rapunzel, which is the same as rampion, she took the child with her. Now, Rapunzel was the most beautiful child in all the world. When she was 12 years old, the witch shut her up in a tower in the midst of a forest, and it had neither steps nor door, only a small window near the top of the tower. When the witch wished to be let in, she would stand below and cry, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Rapunzel had beautiful long hair that shone like gold, and when she heard the voice of the witch, she would undo the fastening of the upper window, unbind the plaits of her hair, and let it down 20 feet below, and the witch would climb up it. After they had lived thus a few years, it happened that as a prince was riding through the wood on his horse, he heard a voice. He came to the tower, and as he drew near, he heard the voice singing so sweetly that he stood and listened. It was Rapunzel, in her loneliness, trying to pass away the time with singing. The prince wished to go to her, and tried to find a door into the tower, but there was none, so he rode home. But the song had entered into the heart of the prince, and every day he went into the forest to listen to it. Once, as he was standing under a tree, he saw the witch come up and listened as she called out, "Oh, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Then he saw how Rapunzel let down her long hair, and how the witch climbed up it and went into her. And he said to himself, "Since that is the ladder, I will climb it and seek my fortune." And the next day, as soon as it began to go dark, he went to the tower and cried, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." So she let down her hair, and the prince climbed up it. Rapunzel was greatly terrified when she saw that a man had come to her, for she had never seen one before. But the prince began speaking so kindly to her, and told her how her singing had come into his heart, so that he could have no peace until he had seen her for himself. Then Rapunzel forgot her terror completely, and when he asked her to take him for her husband, and she saw that he was young and beautiful, she thought to herself, "I certainly like him better than all my other." And put her hand into his, saying, "I would willingly go with you, but I do not know how I shall get out. Every time you come back, bring a silken rope, and I will make a ladder. And when it is ready, I will get down by it out of the tower, and you will take the way on your horse." They agreed that he should come every evening, as the old woman came in the daytime. So, the witch knew nothing of all this until Rapunzel said to her unwittingly, "Mother Gothel, how is it that you climb up here so slowly and the prince is with me in a moment?" "Oh, wicked child!" cried the witch. "What is this I hear? I thought I had hidden you from the whole world, and you have betrayed me." In her anger, she seized Rapunzel by her beautiful hair, struck her several times with her left hand, and grabbing a pair of scissors with her right, snip, snap, the beautiful locks lay on the ground. And she was so hard-hearted that she took Rapunzel away to a wasted desert, where she lived in great sadness and misery. On the same day the witch took Rapunzel away, she went back to the tower in the evening and tied the hair to the windowsill. And when the prince came and cried, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair!" Then she let down the hair, and the prince climbed up. But instead of finding Rapunzel, he found the witch looking at him with evil, glittering eyes. "Aha!" she cried, mocking him. "You came for your darling, but the sweet bird sits no longer in the nest, and sings no more. The cat has got her and will scratch out your eyes too. Rapunzel has lost you, and you will see her no more." The prince was beside himself with grief, and in his agony, he jumped out of the window. He escaped with his life, but he fell on a thorn bush that poked out his eyes. Then he wandered blind throughout the forest, eating nothing but roots and berries, and doing nothing but cry over the loss of his dearest wife. So he wandered several years in misery until he came to the desert where Rapunzel lived. At first, he heard a voice that he thought he knew. And when he reached the place that the voice was coming from, Rapunzel saw him and fell on his neck and cried. And when her tears touched his eyes, they became clear and he could see as well as ever. Then he put her on his horse and took her to a kingdom where they lived happily ever after.